right, diving right in today, we're breaking down a women's Premier League match.
Oh, a good one.
Yeah. Gujarat Giants versus UP Warriors
Ooh,
in Lucknow, their home turf.
right.
This season's more than halfway through, 2025 season.
Yeah.
And this match, well, it had some serious playoff implications
Yeah, big time.
for both sides, actually.
Good time.
You sent over some great research about the match, and I gotta say, reading through it all,
Yeah.
really, really exciting
Oh,
stuff.
It was a really interesting match.
Yeah. So to set the scene, you've got the Warriors. They want to turn, their home turf into this fortress.
Yeah, exactly.
And actually make it impenetrable.
Yep.
And then you've got the Giants. They've been riding a wave of momentum lately.
They have, yeah.
So, add in, all the pressure of a tight playoff race.
Oh, huge pressure. Yeah.
The stakes, they couldn't be higher.
No, absolutely not.
And speaking of high stakes,
Mm-hmm.
right out the gate, UP Warriors, they made this bold decision.
Mm-hmm.
They dropped Holly McGrath
Right.
after she had a few low scores.
Yeah, a bit of a slump.
And they replaced her with Georgia Vole.
Interesting.
She's a young player. She just smashed a century on her international debut.
She did. That's right.
So that's got to be a gutsy move, wouldn't you say?
It was a gamble for sure. Talia McGrath, I mean, she's got all that experience. She's
Yeah.
got a big reputation.
Yeah.
But Vol, she was on fire.
Yeah.
She was in form. So, maybe the Warriors, maybe they thought they needed something new.
Something to shake things up a bit.
Yeah, exactly. A bit of a spark. And this is what's so great about the WPL. They're constantly making these decisions, adapting, thinking about how each player's performing, looking at the team dynamics, always adjusting. It's just it's fantastic. Keeps it interesting.
It's so dynamic. And then, of course, there's the toss,
Oh,
which the Warriors won.
yes.
And they chose to field.
So that seems to be the trend this season.
It does.
Right.
We've been seeing that a lot in this tournament,
Yeah.
winning the toss.
It's almost like an automatic win.
Yeah.
You win the toss, you win the game. What's the deal with that?
I know, right? In those articles, it really stood out. It's practically a guaranteed win if you win the toss.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is.
Yeah, that is interesting. I mean, do teams just prefer chasing targets,
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe it's the pitches,
Yeah.
Or maybe the dew later in the game.
Oh, could be. Yeah.
Or maybe they just feel more confident if they know exactly what they need to get.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever it is, it's a pattern we should definitely take a closer look at. So many factors. It's fascinating.
Absolutely.
Okay. So Warriors, they're fielding first,
Mhm.
hoping to get some advantage maybe early on with the Lucknow pitch.
Makes sense.
But the Gujarat Giants, they had a different idea.
Okay.
And, of course, leading the charge, Beth Mooney.
Oh, she's phenomenal.
She was incredible. She nearly got a WPL century.
Well, 96 runs, just 59 balls.
that's amazing.
17 boundaries.
Oh, man. You could just feel the energy in the crowd every time she hit one.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you could practically hear the gasps.
Every shot.
Every shot.
Incredible.
Mooney, she just put on a masterclass.
She really did.
Yeah.
She was, she adapted her game brilliantly. Remember those articles you sent?
Mm-hmm.
The ones about her struggles against spin bowling early on in her career.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she's clearly learned from that, She's taken those lessons to heart. On this pitch, on this Lucknow pitch, it's a unique one,
It is.
You've got those notes there. What's it like?
Oh, yeah. So it's got this mix of red and black soil.
Interesting.
Some cracks, too.
Ah, okay. So a bit unpredictable.
Yeah. And Mooney, she was using those flat batted shots.
Perfectly.
Yeah, just perfection. Even when she didn't time it perfectly.
Still finding the gaps.
Still piercing the field.
Getting those boundaries. She was unstoppable.
She was. She really.
It's like she unlocked, this whole new level.
Uh-huh.
Specifically for this tournament. And it wasn't just her either.
No.
Her partnership with Harleen Dial.
Oh, yeah.
Crucial.
Absolutely.
Hugely important.
Yeah, tell me about that.
So they built this incredible opening partnership.
Yeah.
101 runs.
Wow.
Just rock solid. A solid foundation for the Giants' innings.
Right.
When you have that kind of partnership early on,
Yeah.
it takes the pressure off everyone else.
Right. The rest of the batting lineup.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They can relax a bit, play more freely.
Yeah.
It's a classic way to build a big total.
It is. It is. And then to top it all off,
Oh, and then,
Deandra Dotton
gone.
came in and just blasted a quick 17 runs.
Oh, she can do that.
Including a 6.
Yeah.
The Giants, their batting lineup was deep. It was. It was a really impressive display. From Mooney's strategic hitting to Dotton's power, It would be tough for any team to handle that.
It really would. So they set a big target, the Gujarat Giants, and now the pressure's on. All eyes on the Yuki Warriors. So the Warriors, they're a bit of a tricky spot now.
Yeah, for sure.
They've got to chase this pretty big target.
Right.
And on a pitch that you were saying from the research seemed like it was playing a bit slower than usual.
It did seem that way, yeah.
Do you think that played a role in how they approach things?
It's possible. Remember how we were talking about, teams preferring to chase in this WPL?
Yeah.
Well, this Lucknow pitch being slower, it might have changed things up a bit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Suddenly setting a target, maybe that's not such a bad idea after all.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see how this pitch, how it plays out in the other matches.
Yeah, definitely. So slower pitch, tough target to chase, and they really need to win this game, like a must-win situation.
A lot of pressure.
So how did the Warriors handle all that?
Well, not great, to be honest.
Yeah.
They really struggled right from the beginning, kept losing wickets,
Oh, no.
Just couldn't build any partnerships. They needed those partnerships to make a real challenge,
Yeah.
And you can just see how frustrated they were.
Uh-huh.
In the post-match comments, their captain Deepti Sharma, she talked about how the top order, they needed to take more initiative.
Yeah. And their top scorer, Grace Harris.
Right.
25 runs.
Yeah.
But even she couldn't really turn things around.
No, she couldn't.
It felt like the Gujarat Giants bowlers just had them, on the back foot right from the start.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Deandra Dotton, she was opening the bowling and she just set the tone,
Right.
2 wickets in the very first over.
Wow.
What a way to start. I mean, talk about making a statement.
Yeah.
The Warriors, they were under pressure right away.
Right from the get-go.
And they never really recovered.
Yeah. And then there's Kashfi Gautam.
Oh, Gautam, she was fantastic.
Incredible spell.
3 wickets, only gave away 11 runs.
Wow.
I mean, those figures, they speak for themselves.
Yeah, they really do.
She was just about unplayable.
She was.
Her performance, it was like a textbook example, really, of how to bowl on a slower pitch.
Oh, interesting. How so?
Her control, the variation she was using, it just had those Warriors batters guessing.
Yeah.
And she really made the most of those conditions. And this is where, that research you sent over, the deep dive into her rise through the ranks, it all makes sense now, She's clearly a rising star. And this match, this was her moment, on the big stage.
It's amazing to see these younger players, really stepping up and making their mark in the WPL. So exciting. But going back to the Warriors' decision, to bring in Vole
Right.
and replace McGrath, did that gamble pay off?
Well, I don't think it had the impact they were hoping for, to be honest. Vole, she just couldn't replicate that magic she had, in her debut. And the Warriors, their batting lineup as a whole, it just didn't click.
Yeah. So a dominant performance with the bat from the Giants.
Absolutely.
And then they followed it up with some really, really great bowling. It was a pretty comprehensive victory for them, wasn't it?
It was. They were just brilliant in every department. I mean, they won by 81 runs.
Wow.
That's massive, huge margin in T20 cricket.
Yeah, that's a big win.
And what makes it even more impressive is that, this was only the second time this whole WPL season, only the second time that a team batting first has won.
Wow. You're kidding?
Yep. So they bucked the trend. They proved, that setting a target, it can be just as effective as chasing.
Especially on a pitch like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, this win, it's got to have huge implications, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So for the playoff race.
Big time. It pushed the Giants right up into 3rd place on the table.
Wow.
So their chances of getting into the playoffs, well, they're looking pretty good now.
Yeah, they're definitely a team to watch now.
Mm-hmm.
What about the Warriors?
Yeah.
This loss, it's got to be a blow for them, right?
It's a tough one, that's for sure. they're sitting at the bottom of the table now
Oh, no.
with a negative net run rate. So they've got a lot of work to do if they want to get back into contention.
So while the Giants, they're celebrating the Warriors, they've got to figure out their next move.
Right.
You mentioned that slower luck now pitch earlier
Right.
and how it might kind of level the playing field in terms of the toss advantage.
Yeah, yeah.
Could that be a good thing for the Warriors, for the remaining home games?
Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought, If they can adapt
Adapt, yeah.
to this slower pitch, maybe they could still turn things around.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think? From all the research.
Well, I think the key for the Warriors is consistency.
Okay.
They need to find a way to put up those competitive scores
Right.
consistently.
No matter if they bat first or second.
Exactly. It's about making the most of what they've got.
Yeah.
Their resources, really understanding the conditions and using them to their advantage. If they can do that,
Yeah.
they still got a chance.
It's amazing, isn't it, how one match can just completely shift the whole story of the tournament.
It really is. Yeah.
The Gujarat Giants, I mean, they're looking like real contenders now.
They are. Yeah.
But the UP Warriors, they've got a real fight ahead of them.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Oh, for sure. And that's the beauty of the WPL, wouldn't you say?
It is.
It's just you never know what's going to happen. It's unpredictable,
Yeah.
full of twists and turns, and the talent.
Oh, the talent.
It's incredible.
It's amazing.
So much fierce competition.
This match really, really showed us how deep the strategy goes in the WPL.
It did, yeah. Yeah.
Adapting to the pitch.
Huge factor.
Individual brilliance.
Oh, yeah.
How the teams work together.
Yeah.
All of it matters.
It all plays a role.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's not just about, physical skill.
Yeah.
It's mental toughness. It's about strategy and being able to handle the pressure.
Yeah, yeah. It's fascinating. As we break down these matches and we look at all this research, it's really striking to me that the WPL, it's so much more than just the scores and the highlights.
Oh, absolutely. There's
Yeah.
there's so much more to it. There's the strategy, there's the analysis, and then there's, the human element, the drama.
Yeah.
It unfolds on the field, but off the field too, and that's what makes it so interesting, right?
It is. It's captivating.
Yeah.
Whether you're a fan or, someone like us trying to analyze it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, this has been fantastic. This deep dive, I mean, we really got into this match. A match that, honestly, I think it really has reshaped things in the WPL.
It has. Yeah.
The Gujarat Giants, they're on a high. The UP Warriors, well, they've got a real test ahead of them.
They do. It's going to be an exciting end to the season.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what happens.
Me too. Me too. It's it's going to be a thrill ride to the finish line, that's for sure. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. And to everyone listening out there, keep watching those WPL matches. You don't want to miss what happens next.